This is Cole with CJC Off-Road, and today we'll be talking about the differences between lift kits and suspension systems. Today we have this 2016 Ram 2500. We'll be pulling off the 6-inch lift kit and replacing it with a Carli Suspension Pintop 2.5, and we'll be describing what the differences are in terms of ride quality, in terms of geometry, and what makes a suspension system, in our opinion, better than a lift kit. Alright, so first let's talk about what's on this truck. So it's your generic 6-inch lift kit. You'll see this on most trucks around town or at dealerships. Typically the reason you see these on trucks is because of the price. They're cheap, you know, $1,500 for a 6-inch lift, right? But in the front, all you're getting is a 4-inch coil spring, a 2-inch coil spacer, longer shocks, track bar drop bracket, utilizing the stock track bar, sway bar drops, and radius arm drops. In the rear, you'll have taller coil springs, longer shocks, and a track bar drop. Now, a kit like this R&D process typically goes, basically the manufacturer is going to draw it up in CAD. They just basically design springs tall enough to lift the truck, not too worried about spring rates or shock tuning. Shocks are generally off-the-shelf shocks, whatever the closest length shock is that'll fit the lift of the truck. So let's go ahead and see how this truck drives. Alright, so first impressions of driving this truck with this lift kit. It's pretty stiff. I wouldn't say it's unbearably stiff, but you feel every little imperfection on the road. If you go to whip the wheel on the truck, the whole thing rocks like a boat. The reason for that is the springs on this kit are on the stiffer side, whereas the shocks don't have much dampening, and so as a result it gets a really boat-like feeling when you're whipping the wheel on this thing. Here's a good test right here. We're about to pull onto this driveway at an angle, just to show how these trucks rock side to side. So you can see the whole truck actually rocks back and forth. Here's another one right here. So yeah, the sway bar is doing its job, but it's also limiting the ride quality of the truck to the extent that the whole truck actually rocks and actually causes passenger discomfort. So now we'll go ahead and take this truck over a dip. That'll be the final part of our driving test right now, and let's see what happens. The moderate sized dip, we'll hit it at 25 miles an hour. Let's see what happens. You literally come out of the seat in this. It's ridiculous. Not that the truck wouldn't do that stock, but if you're paying money for an off-road suspension or lift, you would expect more than this. Alright, so now for the last part of this test, we'll hit a typical dip in the road. We'll hit it at about 25 miles an hour just to see what happens. Here we go. So it actually tosses you onto the seat. Not that the truck doesn't do that stock, but wow, this thing is stiff. Let's go ahead and get this thing pulled into the shop, and we'll get the new suspension put on. Alright, so today we'll be installing a Carli Pintop 2.5 suspension system on this truck. Now, what makes the Carli system better than your average lift kit? The Carli system from the get-go has custom designed coil springs front and rear. The front coil springs are 3-inch linear rate springs designed at a lighter spring rate than your factory springs to help improve ride quality, while the rear is a multi-rate coil spring designed to not only improve ride quality in the lighter spring rates, but as the rear springs compress, they're designed to improve or to retain your vehicle's factory towing capacity. Shock-wise, this kit comes with King 2.5 Pintop shocks front and rear. Front shocks are remote reservoir, rear shocks are piggybacks. Now, Carli builds all their King 2.5 shocks with stainless shock shafts. They also utilize proprietary custom pistons internally, designed to not only improve street ride, but to basically improve ride quality all the way across the board due to how the oil flows through those pistons. Now, these kits took Carli almost a year to design, and a lot of that time was spent shock tuning. Most lift kits for these trucks are just generic off-the-shelf shocks. Carli does the homework with these shocks to actually ensure the best possible ride. They spent almost 6 months alone just on the shock tuning on this system to ensure the very best ride quality possible. Other allowances on these systems, Carli, geometry-wise, designs these kits to work all together, all-inclusive. So, for instance, that lift kit on that truck that we're pulling off, those radius arm drops are designed to work on that company's 4-inch lift. They're designed to work on their 6-inch lift. Same goes for the track bar drop bracket. It's generic parts pieced together to achieve a certain amount of lift for that lift kit. This Carli system, every piece is specifically engineered to work together. So the Carli track bar is designed to retain not only to center the front axle side to side, but it's also supposed to be a heck of a lot more durable than your factory track bar. The way they achieve that is with a heavy-duty rod end on the axle side, as well as a encapsulated uniball set that's proprietary to Carli Suspension track bars. Radius arm drops. These radius arm drops are designed specifically to work with these 3-inch coils. Most lift kits, when you install them, you're actually having to compensate with the caster adjustment in order to get the correct caster positioning. The Carli radius arm drops are actually designed to achieve the correct caster with the caster adjustment centered. And so that way, if there's any variation on your truck, you're still able to adjust your caster to achieve the correct caster and achieve closer to factory alignment specs. This is something that most lift kits don't do, and it's achieved through these radius arm drops. Other cool things with this kit geometry-wise are the rear track bar drop. The rear track bar drop is designed to retain your factory rear track bar, and it actually helps to flatten the angle of the rear track bar, so as the rear suspension cycles, you're not getting what they call wag, which is that side-to-side movement with that only happens on these 2500 trucks. Other cool pieces on this kit, the front bump drops are laser cut, custom designed pieces that basically keep the shocks from bottoming out on the shocks themselves. Another thing that a lot of lift kits don't do correctly. With an expensive king shock like these Pintop 2.5s, you don't want the shock bottoming out on the shock bearing. You actually want it bottoming out on the truck's bump stop. So front bump drops allow for that. That also includes rear billet bump drops that also allow the rear shocks to cycle properly as well. This kit also has a couple upgrades on it. It has fabricated radius arms. These trucks with the standard stock radius arms actually use a vulcanized bushing where the radius arm mounts to the frame. These Carli radius arms are not only stronger than your stock radius arms, they have a Johnny joint in them that is designed to rotate 100% freely 360 degrees. So what you're actually achieving, not only a more durable setup, but actually better ride quality as well. We are also installing a Carli torsion sway bar. The Carli torsion sway bar is completely fabricated by Carli Suspension. Every little piece is custom engineered by them. It's actually a lighter spring rate on the sway bar, and what that translates to is that side-to-side rock that you get when you're pulling in and out of driveways with your factory sway bar. It actually helps to reduce that side-to-side rock quite a bit, ultimately improving ride quality considerably. Now for off-road performance, that is one area where this kit really delivers. With 2.5 shocks custom tuned for off-road performance, combined with the additional travel this kit offers, you're basically taking your truck from riding like a covered wagon off-road to something that you can actually drive at high speed, probably faster than I'd say is safe without putting a roll cage on your truck. This is as close as you're going to get a 3/4 ton truck to Raptor or half-ton pre-runner performance. Whether you're driving on a gravel road, whether you're driving through the desert over whoops, whether you're in the backcountry going over rutted trails, this kit not only allows the truck to handle that terrain without bottoming out easily, it also improves in-cab comfort considerably. If you want to take your wife, kids on an off-road trip, this is what you want in terms of ride quality. Alright, so we're taking over the same dip we took it on, hitting at about 25 miles an hour. Pretty considerable sized dip. Amazing. No harshness, no bounce. Truck is perfectly composed. Alright, so now for the driveway test, we're going to pull down at a 45-degree angle. Almost no side-to-side rock. A lot of that's due to the torsion sway bar. The spring rate is that much smoother than the sway bar. Night and day difference in how this truck rides. So, wasn't really surprised. We've installed quite a few of these on customer trucks. I must say, even still, every time I drive one of these trucks, I'm impressed. The 3-inch Carli systems offer, I'd say, all around some of the best ride quality on the market. It's that smooth. Small imperfections on the road aren't felt. Big dips, the truck is just plush. No more harsh bouncing out of the seat, nothing like that. Pulling in and out of driveways, you're not rocking hard side to side, not smacking your head on the side window. It's that smooth. Costs a little more than a standard lift kit. Then again, you get what you pay for, right? So to recap, average lift kit you see around town is designed to lift the truck and look a certain way. You're not gaining much in terms of ride quality, handling, anything like that. You're just lifting the truck. And sometimes, actually in most cases, you're making the truck ride worse than stock. This setup here, I can say hands down with 100% confidence, ride quality is considerably improved both on and off road. For a truck that is used, say as a tow rig, it works well. A truck that just daily driven, it works well. If you do want to take it off road, it performs amazingly. All around, I'd say this is as well-rounded of a system as you're going to get for your Ram 2500. And when people call and ask what I recommend or what I run on my own truck, I'd say this is absolutely hands down the best riding setup I've ever ridden on a Ram 2500. Any questions or concerns or comments, feel free to give us a call, leave a comment on our page here. Have many more of these videos coming in the near future. Thanks for watching.